let's go straight to Ben Aris now, Editor-in-Chief of BNE IntelliNews, which focuses on Europe, Asia and the Middle East. He joins us now from Berlin. Good to have you back with us, Ben. It looks like both Germany and the US are on the verge of sending their advanced tanks to Ukraine. What difference will they make to Kiev's defences? Will they be the game changer that Ukraine is hoping?
Yes, they could be if sufficient numbers are sent, and that's the key issue here. I mean, these Leopard 2s are very modern, sophisticated main battle tanks, and they're better than anything that the Russians have. Russians are still using the T-72s as the Soviet-era tank created in the 70s. And the Leopard 2s can destroy these. Moreover, the Leopard 2s are very heavily armored in the front, so in a face-off tank to tank, the Leopard 2 should come out ahead. So that could be a real game changer. The key issue here, though, is that Berlin, Der Spiegel was reporting that they're going to send one company, that's 14 tanks. And that's in addition to the company that the UK have said that they're going to send off their Challenger 2, which is a similar main battle tank and also 20 tons heavier than the Russian tank, so also superior. And what we're waiting to see is how many tanks are going to go. That Berlin also in that Spiegel report suggested that they're going to greenlight the Polish demands to be able to send its tanks, and Poland's now applied for a license. And Poland, President Duda has been talking at Davos just last week about sending with a coalition of Ukraine supporters a total of 100 tanks. Now, 100 tanks would be a major change. That would give the Ukrainians the initiative on the battlefield. However, 28 tanks, that's less so. I'm not sure that's enough. The military experts seem to say it's not.
And Ben, Germany has justified its reluctance to send its Leopard tanks to Ukraine by saying it doesn't want to escalate the conflict. Indeed, Moscow says any tank delivery would be a blatant provocation. Is Berlin's cautious approach a reasonable one? Is there much to fear in terms of a Russian escalation if these tanks are delivered?
It's certainly the least dangerous one. I mean, the military analysts, what this tank story has exposed is the German policy of sending plenty of defensive weapons to ensure that Ukraine doesn't lose, but it's held off on the offensive weapons, which tanks are, that would allow Ukraine to win. And there's been a lot of speculation and debate amongst the Russia watchers, and it seems that up until now, that, for example, Germany's sent more arms than anybody else in Europe. It's second only to the US, but they've been exclusively defensive weapons. So this decision is a major change or a major step up in so much as Germany is now going to send offensive weapons, which is a new policy. And that is escalatory. I mean, the Russians have made it clear that if a lot of these Leopards arrive on the battlefield, that they will take that as a provocation. It takes us one step closer to a direct confrontation between Russia and NATO. And that's something that Germany's been trying to avoid at all costs. Its preferred solution would be to bring the fighting to a stalemate and force everybody to the negotiating table and have a negotiated peace. I think that's what Schulz is after. But he's been hounded into this decision. So I think he's going to drag his feet. They will send a company, but I'm not sure they'll send a battalion because Germany's policy remains a negotiated settlement. And the easiest way to get to that is to drive fighting on the battlefield into a stalemate.
OK, Ben Aris, we'll have to leave it there, but great to get your analysis as always. Thank you.